Hello and welcome back to TF3. This is the weekend review. We're going to be talking Palace versus Chelsea, West Brom versus Manchester United, then finishing off over in Turin for the big game in Italy, Juventus versus Roma, first versus second. Stay tuned for that, but anyway, let's dive in. So there's nowhere else to start other than Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, Alan Pardew versus Conte. The game finished 1-0 to Chelsea with Diego Costa scoring a brilliant header following a brilliant whipped-in ball from Azpilicueta. Anyway, let's talk the game. First up, Chelsea was so good defensively. This Chelsea system that is a 3-4-3 going forward is so tight going the other way. It's pretty much a 5-4-1. It's something that we spoke about before. But since moving to this system, Chelsea just looks so good. Azpilicueta has been the key man at the back in terms of a ball-playing sense. Azpilicueta's completed 926 passes in the Premier League this season. That's 155 more than any other Premier League defender, and that is absolutely massive. At Juventus, at Conte's end of his reign, it was Bonucci was the guy stepping out of defence and he was distributing the ball. He shifted that up at Chelsea, and Azpilicueta's the guy that's coming out of the back. Obviously Azpilicueta, a natural right back, so he's comfortable bringing the ball out and going into the more advanced areas. And for the goal, that's exactly what we saw. The strength of playing a right back at right centre back. The ball he put into the box was absolutely fantastic. Something a natural fullback would do in that position would whip a ball in, but it was brilliant from Azpilicueta. And I've been so impressed with him, David Luiz and Gary Cahill this season in the Premier League. All of Chelsea's back three have been brilliant. Right, let's move on to Diego Costa. The man has been in scintillating form this season under Conte. What I love about Costa is his aggression, his ability to work back, and the header was perfect. A brilliant looping header, getting himself into the right areas. But then you go to the 87th minute and he's working back for Fabregas comes onto the right-hand side of the pitch and is pressing centrally, and Costa is doing the running. 87 minutes gone and he's still putting a shift in. Absolutely fantastic form this season. I love his relationship with Conte, similar to the relationship under Simeone, where Simeone is a very fiery character. He's on the touchline, he's orchestrating things, and that's a similar thing to what Conte does. And I think that's how you should coach, and that's how you should manage Diego Costa. Make him believe, be part of the hype, and push him through to put in these performances, make him work for you, make him fight for you, and I think that's a big thing for Diego Costa. But for me right now, him and Alexis Sanchez, the two best players in the Premier League. Again, Eden Hazard coming back from injury and not doing too much in the game. Anyway, guys, let's move on to the Hawthorns, West Brom versus Manchester United. The game finished 2-0 to the Red Devils. Zlatan Ibrahimovic grabbing a brace and taking the spoils back to Old Trafford. A game that was quite interesting, and one man that really shone for me was Jess Lingard. An absolutely fantastic display. But it was his off-the-ball movement that was so good. The first goal that United scored was pure Jess Lingard. Paul Pogba switched the play to Antonio Valencia. Valencia with a ball over the top. Lingard using his pace to get in behind on the half volley, crossed the ball to Zlatan and he nodded it home. But I think Jess Lingard is such a difficult player to play against if you're the fullback marking him. He's always on the move. He pops up on the right, pops up on the left, pops up in central areas. He's just such a tricky customer. And I think with that assist, it showed his improving quality in the final third. He arguably had a chance that he could have doubled the United's lead. I think it was early in the second half, blazing the shot over the bar. But he was getting into those areas, those really promising areas. And I feel if Jess Lingard can improve his decision-making in that final third, his finishing and his decision-making, whether it's a pass, whether it's a cross, whether to take a man on, he's going to be a real top player. But we've got the raw materials. It's difficult to teach a player how to move. Difficult when to teach a player to move inside, to come to the ball, to move out. And I feel like Jess Lingard's got that, but he doesn't just have that, he has the hard work as well. And I think some players that come through the Manchester United Academy, such as Darren Fletcher, before him, consistently improve season on season, because that is what they do. They put that hard work in. Jess Lingard, what a performance from him. 1 assist, 2 chances created, a 91% in terms of pass accuracy, 100% cross accuracy, and 100% tackles won. Anyway, let's move on to Wayne Rooney again. Having a pretty decent game, he should have potentially scored as well. A brilliant save from Ben Foster, tipping it onto the crossbar. In 2016 though, Wayne Rooney's been at his creative best, going massively under the radar. Rooney's registered 10 assists in the Premier League in 2016. That's more than Kevin De Bruyne, Mesut Ozil and Philippe Coutinho have managed in this calendar year. And again, his assist was simple. It was a simple pass to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who pretty much, did all the work and put the ball in the back of the net. But Rooney again popping up in the right areas, and that's very, very, very impressive. Right, moving on to the final man, we've got to touch on Michael Carrick, because he is a bloody legend. Pivotal in Man United's resurgence. Man United have played 13 games this season with Michael Carrick in the team. They've won 11 of them. So his win rate when Carrick's in the side, 85%. United have played 13 games without Michael Carrick. They've only won 5 of those games. A win rate of 35%. That is incredible. Man United are getting an extra 50% win rate if Michael Carrick plays, and that is phenomenal, and that is why he's got to be in the side. I wish he was 26 years old again, because Man United have a player that's worth 100 million. And finally, to round things off, over to Turin. Juventus versus Roma. What a game we had over there. Two of my favourite managers in world football, Allegri up against Spalletti. It was absolutely fantastic in terms of tactics, tactical moves, reshuffles from both teams, and lots of impact from substitutes. But anyway, let's talk about the game. It was won by a brilliant individual effort from Gonzalo Higuain. He's pretty much paying back his the euros that were spent to bring him from Naples over to Turin with goals like that. This is a big game. This is first versus second in Serie A, and obviously he came up trumps. A brilliant, wonderful individual bit of skill. Robbed the ball off Daniel De Rossi, drove towards the goal. Looked like he knocked the ball a bit far ahead of himself and away from his reach, but he had that little bit of pace and a perfect finish with his left foot. The guy is absolutely brilliant with both his left and his right foot when it comes to finishing. And it was a deserved performance from Juventus. They started with a 4-4-2. Diamond during the game, they pressed Roma really high. The likes of Sturaro, Pjanic, Mandzukic, putting in a really good defensive shift, and obviously the man at the base of that diamond, and that's Marchisio. Again, a wonderful performance from him. So good at covering his two defenders, Rugani and Chiellini, using the ball very, very well. But I really liked Sturaro's performance today. Thought he was absolutely everywhere. I really liked how he pressed. He sort of instigated the Juventus press from the left-hand side first as a left central midfielder in the diamond, and then when Juventus did switch to a flat 4 at left midfield, he was so good at getting into the faces of the Roma players deep in midfield. He made 8 tackles in the game, winning 50% of them, and I quite liked his fouling. So he committed 5 fouls in the opposition half and only got booked right at the end of the game. But it was really good to break up Roma's momentum and rhythm, because they do like to play out the back of this Roma side. They do like to get the likes of Strootman, Daniel De Rossi in the first half on the ball and start these attacks, and that's why Sturaro was so good. But also in a counter-attacking sense as well, Sturaro was that man that was trying to get into the box. He had 2 massive opportunities. Arguably should have scored twice, but he still is a young player, 23 years old, and he was signed from Genoa, and sort of has fallen into the side as being the Paul Pogba replacement. A very different replacement, more industry, more of your Gattuso than your Paul Pogba. Pogba more of a flair player, playmaker. Gattuso, a worker, a biter, someone that's really, more of a shuttler, and that's what Sturaro is, and he was absolutely fantastic in the game. In terms of Roma, I felt they were really good on the ball. They dominated in the final third. Didn't create too many chances. Obviously, with Mo Salah out injured, before Mo Salah's injury, he created more chances than any other player in Europe's top 5 leagues. It was a big miss, and when he came on at half-time for Gerson, who didn't impress at all, the Brazilian youngster was absolutely atrocious. Got booked, didn't create any chances, didn't even attempt to dribble past someone. It wasn't good enough for him. But soon as Salah comes in, makes a massive impact and starts causing Alexandro, who didn't have a great game defensively, a lot of problems when he had the ball at his feet. Created a pretty brilliant chance for Perotti, who should have done a lot better. Simple save for Buffon. But again, when Mo Salah's firing and he's back in this side, we're going to see a better Roma. In terms of the title race, I think it's over. I think Juventus have won the league. They're 7 points clear. They're probably going to focus on the Champions League now, and they're just going to grind out this, another title. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the weekend triple threat match review. We spoke about Chelsea, we spoke Man United, and we finished off with Juventus. Anyway, guys, if you've liked this, please hit that like button, because we need to know if you like these videos or you hate them. Did you enjoy me? Multiple places, in the kitchen, outside the Oval, and obviously finishing off in the bedroom. But anyway, guys, if you're new to the Front Three, please subscribe, hit that button. Anyway, till next time.